And welcome to this weather video with mowx. We are beginning March and I have a quick weather update for you, and then we're going to go over some severe weather safety tips. You'll notice this video will go a little bit quicker than my normal videos, but it's still a weather forecast that I do want to bring to you. And of course, let's start with what I'm monitoring as we're beginning the upcoming week, and it's really just late Monday into the early morning hours of Tuesday for the possibility, again not a guarantee, for maybe some storms to develop, isolated potentially in nature. I could be wrong. We could get this batch of some storms to move into parts of our area, but again, doesn't look like something you should be overwhelmed about or worried about. Just a possibility across parts of the area, especially in parts of northern Illinois and parts of our coverage area, especially south of St. Louis. Again, this could change a little bit, but I'm just going with based on what this model is going with and the trends that I'm seeing with this, that there is potentially a possibility late Monday into maybe the early hours of Tuesday for some storms, and we can't roll out a couple of isolated ones that could be on the strong side. But let's go into the main purpose of this video. Let's first talk about the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. As you can see, March 3rd, 2024, this is the day this was issued. We're going from March 9th through the 13th, and as you can see, it's forecasting above normal temperatures for this time of the year in this time period. Again, we can get some changes with this, but this basically means if I showed you the normal temperatures for this time of the year, then above normal mean slightly higher than normal temperatures, but isn't something to be worried about. Notice it's March, so we're eventually going to leave the winter season, but March also means that we can get some big swings in temperatures here in the St. Louis area, so of course we will see what happens. Let's go over your severe weather safety tips though, because we are beginning meteorological spring. I'm glad I pronounced that right in this video. And of course, these are some safety tips, so nothing to be overwhelmed about, but hey, have you ever heard about a NOAA weather radio? It's basically something that can wake you up at night. Of course, if you've left it on, if you have any kind of severe weather that we have to monitor in the coming months, this could wake you up. And of course, for those that do own one, make sure you replace the batteries if you haven't already. It is a good idea to do it, especially when you look outside and we have blue skies. And just carrying that as an example, that you shouldn't wait until the very last minute to put some batteries in these things, because they can wake you up at night when we do have storms. Number 2 is, of course, to have a plan with your family. And whether it's a severe thunderstorm or tornado warning, you should always have a plan. Notice this photo is coming from our National Weather Service, so I'm not the one that owns this graphic. Credit goes to them for making this amazing graphic. And it basically is just talking about knowing your safe place. If it's tornadoes, severe weather, I can tell you severe weather is where you want to be, really just away from windows, and tornadoes is where you take it a little bit seriously. And some safe places would be some storm shelters or even some basements. You do have a basement in your house, hopefully, but if you don't, it's okay, because you can go to an interior room without windows. A bathroom would be a good choice where you can put a helmet over your head, and of course that will protect you. And of course, if you receive a tornado warning anytime in the coming months, I'm not saying today, I'm not saying tomorrow, but of course always take shelter when that warning is issued. Don't take it lightly, because you got to be safe rather than sorry. Again, these are safety tips, so I don't want to confuse anyone that is watching this video. And number 3, one thing that all of us need to know is not to panic. Don't be scared, be prepared, because not every severe weather setup is a guarantee. Let me repeat myself. Not every severe weather setup is a guarantee. There'll be times where we forecast severe weather and there's something called the cap, which stops storms from developing. And so sometimes when we forecast severe weather, something goes wrong in the forecast where no storms develop. Why? Because the cap could be in place, and that basically stops storms from developing. That's one example. And maybe some instability. If we don't have enough instability in place, then storms aren't going to have the energy to develop. Another example is, of course, temperatures. If they're too warm or, too cool to support severe weather. So there are a lot of things that comes to severe weather, and that's why we don't want you to be scared. Be prepared always, even if the severe weather setup is not a guarantee. And of course, I'll always have updates here, so this is nothing to be aware about right now, but of course, I'll have updates in the coming months, the coming days, the coming weeks about this. And of course, you can always download Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, to follow me to get those weather updates. I release outdoor weather updates, and even, of course, reports here to keep you and your family safe. Again, this was just a quick weather forecast and, of course, some severe weather safety tips beginning the, first day of meteorological spring, which was technically on March 1st. Until then, I will see you in the next weather video, and I hope to release more videos like this in the coming months, ones that won't take a lot of your time. And of course, I can see I was able to get all this done in 5 minutes, which is a really good thing. Until then, we will see you in the next video. Okay.